healed and moved on and doesn't care about me, it still just sucks, you know? I'm honestly really sad right now, if you can tell.
Mrs. Rivera, I will say this to you. You're foolish. You had a good thing. As soon as it wasn't a perfect thing, it made you angry. Nobody's ever going to be perfect. You most certainly are not perfect. And the next guy you get is not going to be perfect. And unless you're willing to put up with a little bit of, you know, they say for better or for worse for a reason.
I would never, ever advise anybody to go through a divorce.
I would never tell a woman to walk through that.
I left my husband 5 months ago and I regret it. No, you're not supposed to say that. I know I'm supposed to be in my living my best life era, whatever, but like, no. These last 5 months have broken my spirit. They have been the hardest of my life.
You know what's crazy? She spent months talking about how she deserves better. How she's finding herself. And how she's not happy anymore. And now, she's sitting in an empty apartment wondering why that better life feels so damn lonely.
When I decided that I was going to tell him that I wanted a divorce, I texted my therapist, our marriage counselor, and I was like, I need to tell him that I want a divorce, but I want to do it in a session so that there's like a mediator present. I walked in knowing that I was going to ask for a divorce. And so we sit down in our session. It's like really tense, really awkward. My ex was sitting there like, so why do we have an emergency session? Therapist was like, Jamie, do you want to start? And I just started crying and I was like, I want a divorce. I want a divorce. He sat there quiet. I'm sitting next to him crying. He didn't move. He didn't look at me. He didn't react at all. He just was stone cold. And eventually our therapist was like, would you like to respond? So he responded right away and he's like, fine, let's just go ahead and finalize the details. And that was that. And I just was like, I looked at my therapist and I was just like kind of stunned. Like I knew that I was ready to leave that day, but I couldn't believe that that was his reaction. There was no empathy. There was no compassion. There was no like wanting to fight for us, which I didn't think that there would be, but you know, you just always hope that like one last try, you know? I woke up and went to work the next day, came home. He was playing PlayStation that night. I sat next to him. We hadn't talked in 24 hours. And I said, can we talk about what happened yesterday? And he was just playing, just looking straight ahead. And he's like, what's to talk about? In my mind, I'm thinking, this is our last ditch effort to like steer the ship around, you know? And I was like, so what are we gonna do? And he just kept playing. And he was like, I already got an apartment. I already took my name off of the lease. He had done things within that 24 hours. He had opened up the filing folder of his single man life.
Because the truth is, she didn't want to leave a bad man. She wanted to leave a boring one. The one who worked, paid bills, stayed loyal. But wasn't exciting enough. And now that man she called emotionally unavailable. Yeah, he's smiling with peace in his eyes and zero drama in his life.
Why did I divorce my husband? I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here.
So why did you guys get a divorce?
Because I really wanted something different. It's very unfortunate because he was the most loving, kind person. I had all the love and support that I could have ever wanted. But I think I went through a period wanting money.
See, modern women have been lied to. They think the grass is greener on the single side. Until they realize it's all just artificial turf. Fake smiles, fake friends, and fake happiness for social media. Meanwhile, the guy they left behind. He's healing. He's improving. He's thriving.
Denise Rossi was a woman who won $1.3 million from the California Super Lotto lottery in December 1996, but kept it a secret from her husband of 25 years, Thomas Rossi. She filed for divorce 11 days after winning the jackpot, claiming that she had been unhappy for many years. She arranged to have her annual payments of $66,800 sent to her mother's home in Northern California. Thomas did not find out about her lottery win until 2 years later, when he received a letter from a company that offered lump sums to lottery winners. The letter was addressed to Denise and revealed her winnings. Thomas sued Denise for fraud and violation of disclosure laws. A judge ruled in his favor and awarded him all of Denise's lottery money. Denise lost her fortune because of her greed and dishonesty. She could have kept some of the money if she had told the truth.
Is she thinner than me?
You have a lot in common.
So she's not younger than me, she's not skinnier than me, and she's not prettier than me. Then why couldn't it just be me?
Well, she's softer than you. She's quieter than you. She doesn't yell at me. She doesn't call me an idiot or tell me to shut up all the time. She listens to me.
She thought he'd come crawling back. But he didn't. He disappeared. No begging. No second chances. Just silence, and that silence hurt more than any argument ever could.
I was waiting on my ex-husband to be a bad person. I was truly waiting on him to do something so bad that it would justify me ending the marriage. Again, I was waiting on my husband to be a bad person. I stayed with the same person for 21 years, created a family. I was in the relationship 21 years, married 17. And I was married to a good man. I was married to a good guy.
And now she's trying to play the "I miss you" card. Sending those "hey stranger" texts like nothing happened. But he's not the same man anymore. He's not bitter. He's not broken. He's done. Because once a man gets a taste of peace after chaos, there's no going back.
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
Do people who really wanted to get divorced ever come back around and regret it? There's a lot of reels and TikTok videos out there about, oh, the ex always comes back. I think many times exes will come back around. They'll realize the grass wasn't greener. But you have to remember, wherever you go, there you are. So if you were a miserable person inside a marriage, you're going to be a miserable person outside the marriage. People do not change unless they put the work in to be different.
And your ex-husband, all he wanted to do was be a provider. That's why now he is dating someone who he has no problem providing for her and her kids. And she's pissed because she's like, why would he go and find someone who has kids? Like, he already has kids. Why would he want to take on that responsibility? And I'm like, wait, aren't you looking for someone to take on that?
He realized he doesn't need to prove his worth to someone who only valued him when it was convenient. He's free, and she's realizing freedom isn't so fun when nobody's chasing you. She thought she could leave and still keep the upper hand. But here's the thing. Men are finally walking away with their dignity intact. And when a man walks away peacefully, that's when the regret hits the hardest.
This is a prime example of a woman making the mistake of leaving a man based on the 90-10 theory. If you guys don't know what the 90-10 theory is, it's where a man can have 90% of what a woman wants in a man, but she becomes so focused on the 10% that that man doesn't have that she breaks it off. She lets him go even though he has 90% of what she wants. And look, when a woman does this, she is fully convinced that she can find a man with 100% of what she wants. And then she goes out into the dating pool and she tries to find a man with that 10%. She thinks initially that this is all that she really wants, and that is what she's focused on. Until she starts cycling through these men, and what she finds is that they don't have all the 90% that her ex did. She finds out the hard way that men don't actually all have that 90% that her husband had. That's why she didn't appreciate it to begin with, because she thought that every man, or at least many men, had the same qualities as her husband, but you know, the 10% was lacking, and that's what she needed to find. Well, over time, she realizes that she made a mistake, that she should have appreciated that 90%. And as far as the 10% that was lacking, maybe she could have either one, accepted it because she knew that the 90% made up for it, Or 2, she could have agreed with her husband to work on it. But with that, she needs to be open to taking some accountability for herself and her own actions and potentially looking at changing some things that she does. This is such an important message for women to hear because you cannot go back on it, because what this man did is that he realized that he was missing out, right? That she may have only had 50% of what he wanted. And then what happened when she released him? He found somebody else. And I bet you anything that that woman, that next woman, appreciates everything about that man. But what really kind of stinks about his new relationship is that you can tell by how this friend is talking that his ex-wife is jealous. She is questioning why he ended up going for a woman that has kids and he is supporting her and she is a stay-at-home mom essentially. Newsflash, you had that and you let it go. But if she doesn't take accountability for that, she doesn't realize that it was her loss, that she made the mistake, that is final, there's no going back. She is probably going to dislike that other woman that's going to be around her children for no reason other than she is getting to reap the benefits of being with that good man. So that is why this is a cautionary tale to all women.
Today's episode of Manosphere Daily. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified as soon as a new video is out. Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.